All right, guys, we are back with Chris and Sean here. We're talking through the medias, and we've been having like the best week ever. I mean, one, it's Mother's Day, and I was able to get my mom what she always likes, a big old 20-piece chicken dinner from Timmy Chan's Chicken. So she's happy because I'm the best son ever. And that's mostly how my weekends went. The rest, I just slept it off. Sean, what about you, man? How's your weekend going so far? How's your Mother's Day?
Good. It's been busy, man, but I'm still reeling off of that Captain America, though.
That Captain America. Yeah, we need to. We're gonna be. Oh yeah, that you just reminded me, man. We're okay, guys. You saw that we did little pre-interview, pre-speculations, and a non-spoilers Captain America. Me and Sean, we like to let a movie absorb, and we like to get a day out of the way after seeing a major movie, and then give you exactly what we think and what we feel about it. We don't want to just give you the initial reaction because usually we're buzzing so hard that we might say that was the greatest movie ever. Then the very next day we're like, you know what, this was kind of choppy or something like. So we let a day go by. I'm already gonna tell you right now before we even do our movie review. A day went by. I still feel exactly the same.
I was gonna say, I hope he's not gonna say that he changed his mind because maybe it's just me. I still feel the same about it.
I still feel exactly the same way. So I can't wait till we do that all spoilers review. We've already it's already on the website. I've got up there. We've done a little spoilers review. So check out T3medias.com and you'll see that. But we're about to record ours later on. So check it out later. But this is talking through the medias. This is episode 25. And we are ready to run down the topics of today. Let's start with the first one, which is what we were just on. This is the box office report. This is from Box Office Mojo, and the number one movie in the world is Captain America. Of course.
America. I knew this was
181. I got the text from Joe this morning. Did you get that text?
I did. I was like, damn, I thought it was going to break 2.
I win the bet. So I came closest. I said that it was going to probably make around 175 to 190. I was hoping that it would break 2, but it unfortunately it did. It deserved to. It deserved to break that, but it unfortunately it just short. How are they going to make ends meet with only 180 million this weekend, man?
I think they've already pulled in $3.5 billion this year in the box office from Disney alone. I mean,
woo, man, we have the exact same response. Disney. It took a Disney film to knock out the other Disney film.
Disney movie
that was killing it with Jungle Book, but rightfully so. It seems like every 6, 7, 8 years, Disney has another revolution, man. They just like when in the early 90s when they were killing it with The Lion King, Little Mermaid, Aladdin, they were killing it. Then that kind of stopped, and then the 2 or 3 years later they brought it back with the whole animation, computer animated revolution. Toy Story 2, and then everybody followed their lead. And now they're doing it again with their live action stuff. So Disney is like on supernova fire right now. So I'm going crazy. I'm enjoying everything I see. So let's get a little taste, Sean. What are your thoughts about Captain America?
Man, that movie was awesome. I didn't even need to see Captain America 1 and 2. That one stand on its own. It gives you enough background information. We get to see enough new people, and for me, we get to see the new Spider-Man. And Spider-Man was awesome, dude. Spider-Man.
Exactly. I'm 100% happy with Spider-Man. I like what you just said about how it stands alone. In my opinion, I feel like you have to see 2 because it's the issue.
Well, because Bucky in the background,
Bucky being in the issue. So I feel like it's a perfect sequel to. It's more of a sequel to, in my opinion, to Age of Ultron, and then Winter Soldier, and then Captain America 3. I feel like you watch those 3 movies, you're caught up with everything. You understand why everything's happening the way it's happening. But I wanted to ask you a question. What do you think about my thoughts on this? At first, I thought Iron Man was going to have the most solid trilogy. Spider-Man has, to me, currently has a solid trilogy. I think what Batman has,
Yeah, the Dark Knight.
Nolan's Batman has the most solid trilogy. And now, even though the Dark Knight and Batman Begins were awesome movies, if I was to honestly ask myself, which comic book movie has the most solid trilogy, total package? It might right now. It might be a tie between Nolan's Batman and Captain America, because Captain America had the slow start, amazing finish. Batman had the amazing start and then kind of a questionable end. I feel like I'm going to go back and forth, but right now, based on the Winter Soldier having a slow start and then ending so epically, I'm going to kind of give the advantage to Captain America, maybe, but then tomorrow I might go back because of the Dark Knight. What do you think about that? Am I talking crazy?
Because we got on one hand the weakest chain in the link, and it's still a great movie, is The Dark Knight Rises. Whereas for me, Captain America, the first one was the weakest on that one. So
the first Avenger, yeah,
it
was weak, the weakest link, but not a bad movie. I mean, it was exactly what it had to be because we had to introduce ourselves to.
My thing is I enjoyed The Dark Knight Rises more than the first Captain America movie. So that's why, for me, the Dark Knight trilogy edges it out just a little bit.
Damn it. You gave me another way to look at it. Damn it. Because right now, in my opinion, after seeing Civil War, the Dark Knight of the Captain America trilogy, anything that I can compare to the Dark Knight would now be Civil War. The Civil War, Winter Soldier was great, but now I'm going to have to call Winter Soldier the Batman Begins, Civil War the Dark Knight, and just like you said, the Dark Knight Rises,
the first Avenger.
The first Avenger. I'm going to put it in an equal. Damn,
this is going to kill me. The Dark Knight Rises is a better movie than the first Captain America. That's all.
So you think the Dark Knight Rises is a better? Well,
I think the Dark Knight Rises
because it's. I feel like it's inevitable that would have been a better. Well, I don't know.
I would say this: I have almost never in my life been so excited to go see a movie than I was to go see the Dark Knight sequel.
But wouldn't your opinion of that be like that because of the Dark Knight? Because of the Dark Knight, but you didn't have that same feeling going into Captain America because we hadn't had a Captain America movie.
Right. That may be it. Maybe it.
What do you? Okay. Compare. Last comparison: Bane, or Red Skull. Who was the better executed villain?
You gotta even ask me, Bane.
You think Bane was the better villain than Red Skull? Huh?
Of course, it's Bane. Bane is a gangster.
Who could win in a fight?
Oh, Bane will whoop.
Not the comic book versions of themselves, the movie versions.
Bane. I still say Bane.
I say Red Skull because he had the super soldier serum.
He may have, but I still vote for Bane. You suck, Bane.
You struck me. Who said that? Kill them all. But I'm gonna give the edge to Red Skull since he was technically a super soldier. And those super soldiers they don't tire as fast. You know, Bane gets tired after fighting for so long. So, Captain America and Red Skull could fight all day, literally.
The Bane is also on the chemicals.
On the chemicals, yeah. Tear that mask off, and but he didn't have the chemicals in the movie version of it.
He did. Right? He was just what that mask was. It was 2 canisters.
But that was keeping him alive, right? Wasn't it? So he could breathe like Darth Vader.
An anesthetic painkiller. He didn't feel pain when he was getting punched. That's why.
Okay. I think you're right. Yeah. That was his venom, right?
Victory has defeated you. Oh, wow. That's why as soon as he knocked that mask off, he's like, "Oh no!" He knew he was in trouble.
Wait! I call timeout. Awesome, man. All right, moving on to the next topic. We have Fox has released the Assassin's Creed movie, new photos from the Assassin's Creed movie with starring Michael Fassbender, and I don't know if have you seen them yet. Right now I've got them displaying.
I've seen a couple of photos of it.
Seen a couple of the photos. How do you think this movie is looking so far, just based on the photos? We haven't seen a trailer yet. Based on the photos, how do you think this is turning out?
I think the movie is going to be shit, unfortunately.
Wow. I did not expect that answer.
I want it to be good. But my
of course.
gut says this is going to suck.
Tell the truth. No, Sean, tell the truth.
I am telling the truth. I think it's going to suck the shit. I like Michael Fassbender. not so hot on the. I'm burned out on the Assassin's Creed stuff, and I just don't know how well it's going to translate to the movie screen.
But
We'll see. I mean, I don't want it to be bad, but I just think it's going to be shit. So
I think I played the video games only a little bit. I still have one of them downloaded. I'm gonna play that game. I'm gonna finish it out. I know a little bit of the story of how they get a guy whose ancestors were all in these assassins, and when he has this lineage in his blood, and they go into his DNA to see what his ancestors used to do, and I guess they're gonna activate, the inner assassin in him as well, maybe. But and from what I can tell from the synopsis, that's what they're sticking to. They're sticking really close to the storyline. So they're not going all off the from away from the original source material. So hopefully this could be like a good adaptation of the game. And I'm gonna give you I have the 100% opposite reaction that you're having right now. I feel the way you feel about Assassin's Creed, I feel about the WoW movie. What's that movie called? Warcraft.
Warcraft. Oh yeah, I feel the same way about Warcraft. I don't want to see that shit either.
I am not excited about that at all. From what I've seen from the graphic, the only thing that I want to see in that movie is Paula Patton in that green makeup, looking good, that half human, half orc. She had the little teeth coming out, looking like a reverse. Yeah, I want that all over me. Woo! That's the only thing I want to see that movie for is Paula Patton. But that's because of Mission Impossible, how good of a job she did. But everything in that movie looks like garbage to me. I'm not excited about it at all, and I'm hoping Michael Fass. Okay, let me get okay. When does WoW come out? War of Warcraft. That's a summer. That's a summer release.
Yeah.
So that gives you some hope that it should be good. So got to be a blockbuster.
Sure, only hope to make some money.
Assassin's Creed is coming out in December, which is usually the Oscar move, when Oscar types and good dramas and good stories are usually released because they want to be considered Oscar worthy, right? Doesn't that give you some kind of confidence that Fox has real confidence in this movie to come around the Star Wars right there around Star Wars?
The one thing that gives me confidence is that Michael Fassbender, I'm sure, had to read the script, and he was probably
he's the producer. Yeah.
Well, he's probably like, oh, is he?
Yeah, he's the reason why this movie is coming out. He's producing it and starring in it.
Well, I like him, so
we trust him. We trust Michael Fassbender. Okay, so Magneto, if you can convince us that this is well, I guess it's gonna all come down to that trailer. Let's look forward to that trailer. Let's reserve the right to disagree, even though Sean is 100% right in his own right.
I would rather see Michael Fassbender in Prometheus too.
Yeah. We got to talk about that later. Prometheus. Michael, good luck, buddy. All right, so moving on to the next topic, and we are starting a new segment we're going on to the world TV. So we're going to turn on the TV. So here on Turn On the TV, this is just a title of work in progress. Until Sean cracked me up before we started working. I said, Sean, what do you think about naming this segment? When we talk about TV, I call it Turn On the TV. You know how people go, hey, turn on the TV. He goes, until we can find out say something better, I guess. It totally made me feel.
What I said was, I can't think of anything better.
So I can't think of anything better. So if you like it, I love it, Chris.
Anything better? So, yeah.
The whole time he's on his notes like something better. Well, it's cool. So we're gonna turn on the TV. So when looking up what's going on in TV, I've noticed I came across a storyline that there are 10 movies that are on 10 TV shows that are on the chopping block on the what's called the cancellation bubble. And for some of these shows, that bubble is going to pop. And
pimple.
I can tell you why they're going to pop, in my opinion, right now, is because all of these shows that are on this list, according to the Hollywood Reporter,
they suck.
That I can't speak to because I don't watch them. That's why.
Is that the problem?
I'm not surprised.
You're the majority.
I watch a lot of TV, not as much as I used to.
What are the shows?
But let me. I'm gonna run down the list really fast. I'm gonna say, tell me if have you seen or do you watch any of these shows?
Starting
with number 1, Agent Carter on ABC. We have number 2,
Agent Carter. Is that the one?
Agent Carter, Marvel's Agent Carter, Captain America's ex-squeeze from Captain America.
Is that the chick who was having sex with the dude who like put the circular saw on himself?
And what movie?
On Netflix, there's a show. No, I'm thinking Jessica something.
Oh, you're thinking about Jessica Jones. No, this is on ABC.
I have not seen Agent Carter.
Like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. It's on ABC. That's also owned by Disney. Marvel's second series on ABC. They're going through some issues there. We have Agent Carter. Number one, we have Border Town that's on Fox on the Fox network. It's an animation cartoon that I have not seen one episode. Have you ever heard of Border Town?
Nope, never heard of it.
Animation is judged by let's see what it says here on Hollywood Reporter. Animation is judged by a different set of standards, but Fox's latest Sunday entry is a ratings bummer by any measure. So that's not good for Border. And I concur because I was not interested in watching. I don't even know what it's about. Number 3 also on ABC. It's a show called The Catch. I don't even know what The Catch is about. I think that's that new drama. Where this woman was conned by a con man who was real good at conning, conned her all out of millions of dollars, and now she's trying to catch him. It's called The Catch.
Nope, haven't heard of that one either.
It's the lady, and we do this all the time. I can't remember her name. The redhead from that TV show. The detectives that were the guy who played RoboCop. He was in this TV show with the redhead. The Killing. The lady from The Killing. It's her. It's her new TV show on ABC.
And Scully way.
The new Scully.
Scully's still hot, dude. Anyway, Scully. So yeah.
Number 4 on the list is Cooper Barrett's Guide to Surviving Life on Fox. I'm assuming this is a comedy. Never had a
confusing ass title, and it's not
Cooper Barrett's Guide to Surviving Life. Picked up from a full season before its debut, the comedy about a misfit group of 20-somethings never caught on.
Millennials.
Probably because of that title. Number 5, Heartbeat on NBC. The opportunists for puns are endless, but this one genuinely never had a pulse. Either
I don't watch enough TV stuff.
Or these shows suck.
Yeah, I've never heard it. I heard of Agent Carter, I think, but I never watched it. But the others I've never even heard of.
They just grab I guess, I don't know. As a regular average TV guy, I guess I'm very picky. If I see one little commercial and it piques my interest, if I'm just slightly curious, I'll watch a few episodes. But if that commercial can't even get me to do that or watch the first episode, then I'm checked out. I'm never gonna watch it. Number 6.
Cancel good shows though. That pisses me off.
And that's probably what it is. I've gotten, and now thanks to streaming and whatnot, I've gotten into the mentality of I wait till a show has had at least one season before I watch it. I hate watching a show that's destined to be canceled after one season. I just can't stand it.
You ever watch The Riches?
You don't want to what?
Did you ever see the show The Riches?
Nope, never saw it.
There's 2 seasons of The Riches. You can find it on Netflix. It is awesome.
I'll check it out. If you check out Don't Trust the Bee in Apartment 23. The girl who plays Jessica Jones is in that show. It's hilarious.
Trust the Bee in Apartment
23.
That's a real show.
It was a real show. It's on Netflix now. Don't Trust the Bee. It was like 2 or 3 years ago when it got canceled.
Okay, yeah. I can remember. Don't Trust the Bee. Okay, I can remember.
Don't Trust the Bee in Apartment 23. Hilarious. Bring that show back. 23? Number 6 was the Gallivant on ABC. Number 7, Game of Silence on NBC. The first 2 words of the title were so promising. Game of.
yeah, like that. Yeah.
And then silence, but had bad reviews and bad ratings, ensured that this NBC drama will be DOA. And number 8, The Muppets on ABC. What? I watched 1 episode of The Muppets.
The Muppets, like the Muppets?
Yeah, the Muppets have a show. It's like a reality show, like The Office. There's like a camera that follows them as they're creating the Muppet Show, and they interact with real actors, and they're prepping for the next show. It's like The Office.
Okay.
It's funny. It's just that it's just not the Muppet Show. So.
Muppet baby.
I don't know. Number 9, Grandfathered or the Grinder. Grandfathered or the Grinder on Fox.
I think I saw an ad for one. It had John Stamos saying he was a
It's called Grandfather. Oh, this is two shows that's on that's number 9. It's either going to be Grandfathered or The Grinder that's going to get canceled. The John Stamos movie and Rob Lowe.
John
We're
Stamos
both
and
remembers.
Rob Lowe.
So, yeah.
Rob
And
Lowe.
exactly. And number 10, CBS, the Rush Hour TV show.
What? They had a Rush Hour TV show?
Yeah, they're soon to have had a Rush Hour TV show. It just premiered a couple of months ago, and it's already not doing it. In this in the confusing words of Megan Trainor, my name is no, my sign is no, my number is no. This is the TV treatment nobody asked for, and now that it's on the air, apparently nobody wants. So there's that. I don't know if you ever heard that song by this woman named Megan Trainor. My name is no, my sign is no. Like if you ask a girl what's her name, what's her sign, she goes, it's no, no. My phone number is no. So, want. That was a lame joke, but what do you think, man? What do you think about the 10 shows that are on the bubble for cancellation?
Before you even said any of these names, that you made a valid point. That you said something to the effect of, as I look down this list, I haven't heard of most of it, and neither have I. And that is the problem. I haven't heard of this crap. I guess maybe I'm not the biggest TV dude, but I haven't heard in almost all of those.
But even shows that you don't watch or haven't seen yet, you would eventually bump into people like, hey, have you watched the Breaking Bad? Have you watched that Better Call Saul? Have you watched that this? Have you watched that? People usually start poking you and getting you onto it. That's what she said. But no one's talking about these shows. So they're on the chopping block. I'm gonna say a good 7 out of these 10 probably are not going to make it to see next season.
I think all of them, with the exception of Agent Carter.
Agent Carter might have the best shot because they're trying to do something for Marvel. They might force something. They might just do some drastic shakeups. And yeah, you're right. Maybe 9 out of 10. Hell, maybe 10 out of 10 won't make it. Who knows? Who cares? Nobody's watching this stuff. All right, so that's on TV now. Sean. You're still trying to convince me to get Battlefield 1 for games.
Yes. Okay, guys. So Chris has a sour history with the Battlefield franchise, and it's kind of weird for me because I have played both of the games since their creation. I don't know if you guys know how old we are or not. We won't reveal numbers. Maybe we have before. We're a little older than we probably look. But
I'm 47.
Yeah. And I'm 43. All right. So
we're lying.
Yeah. Yeah, that's another. How old are Sean and Chris? All right, so I think I've been playing Battlefield in, oh gosh, maybe 2001.
I've been playing Battlefield since World War II.
Well, yeah, it started off with like Battlefield 1942. Mm-hmm. The first one I can remember, and then and it was on a PC, and it was like one of the really big online games.
Okay.
And I remember I couldn't get a damn PC that would run it. It ran like shit, and I was pissed off at GameStop because I had the recommended specs, and it ran like dog shit.
Oh, major question, Sean. Yeah. What is PC? No, I'm joking.
Yeah, what's a PC? What's that, bro?
What console is that?
Yeah, and then Call of Duty felt and looked a little bit different than it does now. I mean, obviously it's been out for years, but it started off as like the campaign was kind of like the center stage, and it was divided. I believe, if I remember correct, it was World War II, and it was divided into 3 different sections of like you play the Americans and the Russians and some other shit. Remember the British? Yeah, the British, Russian, whatever. And the multiplayer just kind of caught on gradually, and then before you knew it, holy crap! And the multiplayer was way different, like when it first started. I mean, like now, what do you go to 75 or 100, and that's it, and then the game shuts off. Like I remember we would play hundreds of kills in a match. You know, it would just go on and on.
So it was
good. It was good, but I think deep down inside, I know we play more Call of Duty. But now it seems like, and you probably saw this, Chris. The trend has been let's go more futurist. You know, like it's just going up, and now we're seeing Star Destroyers and shit in Call of Duty, and it's
damn near Star Wars.
Star Destroyers and Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Sad day. Then, out of nowhere from the right field, hooking to the left, Battlefield drops a bomb and releases probably one of the coolest, most well put together game trailers I've ever seen without giving you too much information. Right. It makes you're just like, I want to see more. You know, like show us the fucking. They show like, I think it's like 3 or 4 frames of the actual gunplay where you see the guy like running down into the trench and you see him grabbing his mask because there's like the smoke in the background. But World War I, we have completely reverted from space to the trench warfare, and that's kind of got me excited because honestly, I'm getting a little sick of this future shit. No offense, guy.
Yeah. Well, no, you're not alone. A lot of people are saying that.
We need to step it back. Black Ops 3 is about as futuristic as I want it to go. I don't want it to go any more than that. So,
too bad.
You fucking up.
Well, I think you're right about one thing because, like you said, I've never really been much of a the Battlefield game. You got me to play the Bad Companies. You got me to play the Battlefield. We played the beta of the Hardline a little bit, and the one consistent problem, and I said this on my review of the trailer, and a lot of you guys, I appreciate you guys commenting, by the way, because you educated me and you let me know that the problem that I was having with it, they kind of corrected that, or they adjusted it because of the popularity of Call of Duty.
He was only playing conquest maps.
I was only playing the conquest maps where it was like you have to run like
it was a literal
forever. To get across the map. Halfway there would always get picked off and sniped. They frustrate the hell out of me. I'm used to running and gunning and getting like 100 kills because I'm awesome. And then I couldn't get one kill. I couldn't survive in these bad Battlefield games or Bad Company and whatnot. So I got frustrated with them. Like, this sucks. Yeah, the graphics are beautiful, but I can't shoot a bullet. So but now you guys are saying that they've readjusted it. They got smaller maps and they got team death matches happening now. It's just like these damn Michael Bay Transformer trailers. You're gonna suck me in with the trailer. You're gonna convince me to buy it, and then I'm gonna hope that this is gonna be the one. This is the one that's gonna make me a fan. So we'll see. I'm gonna go for it. So just because I don't want Sean to think that he's gonna be out there alone. We're a clan.
Oh yeah, guys. Together. Yeah, I'm getting Battlefield, and whether Chris eventually he will, I will
comply.
I am gonna get that shit.
I will be there. We're a clan and we stick together. So
look us up on Xbox Live, Piss Clan, PYST. Check it out.
PYST. Exactly. That's not our menstrual cycles. That's the name of our clan. So next up, I wanted to talk about something that's near and dear to my heart on the world of gaming. I want to talk about Sega. Hey kids, remember Sega? It's not just a gaming development company. No, they used to make consoles. They were a company that were huge in the late 80s, early 90s, with their mascot Sonic the Hedgehog in direct competition with the Nintendo company, and they had their epic rise and their inevitable fall because of bad decisions that they made with the company. I wanted to talk about what if they decided to do one of two things. What if they would have taken that opportunity to merge with PlayStation before the PlayStation 1, first PlayStation console came out? That was the deal on the table. After the Sega Dreamcast, they had the Sega Genesis, the Sega Saturn, the Sega CD,
Sega 32X.
The Sega Saturn was what almost like
Sega Saturn was after. It was Sega Genesis, Sega CD,
Sega CD, then the 32X.
They started like building it up.
they came up with all these attachments to add on to the Sega Genesis to make it powerful and whatnot, make it more graphic. But it was too much in between. They were just about to launch the Sega Saturn, and they were already giving you these attachments for the Sega Genesis. It's like you were 6 months away from a new console. Why are you giving us these? This is bad decision making.
Do you remember the TurboGrafx 16?
I don't remember that one. I only had the Sega Genesis, the Sega CD, Sega Saturn, and the Dreamcast. Which ones did you have?
Oh, we had Atari. We had the Nintendo. Oh, I still have my Nintendo. It still fucking works.
Mm-hmm.
Sega Genesis, CD, 32X, PlayStation,
all of that.
Nintendo 64, all them bitches. I had all them bitches. I just didn't have a Neo Geo or Super
I
Nintendo.
didn't get into the Neo Geo stuff and all that and the
It
Jaguar
was
and
way
stuff.
too expensive.
Too much. I did have the Nintendo. I did also get the Nintendo, the Super Nintendo, and I don't think I got the Nintendo 64.
I
I
did.
remember the Nintendo. What was the one? The Super Nintendo was the one that had the rocket launcher.
Yeah, the
Remember that one?
Super. Yeah, yeah.
Remember that game? That shit was awesome. So I had all those.
We
games.
had the Mega Blaster. It had like a buttstock and it had like a
Yeah.
scope on top of it, and we used it for the Terminator 2 game on the Sega Genesis.
So towards after the Sega Saturn that didn't do as good as it was supposed to, they lost them a lot of money. They went to the Dreamcast and they were gonna. I think the Dreamcast was the first time you could actually save the game, and then and have the little memory card and everything
That attached to your controller.
Yeah, that you had a digital interface and all that stuff. It was great, and but it was too little, too late. And then Sony entered the game. They were like, we want to get into the console game. They talked to Sega. Let's come up with something together. And then the powers that be and this was the
Dreamcast was going to compete with the PlayStation 2, and
right.
it did not happen.
It didn't work. Yeah, when they were waiting, everybody was waiting for the PlayStation 2 was what ended Sega. But before PlayStation even came out, they had a chance to merge with PlayStation, and they come up with the Sega PlayStation. And the powers that be at Sega said no.
They're going nowhere.
Then Sony said, fine, we came up with our own console.
We've got deep roots in this industry. We don't need you, Sony.
And then Sony had the coolest console ever to come out.
You know what that reminds me of?
Mm-hmm.
And you told me about this. I didn't know this, guys. What he said is exactly like Sega not wanting to join with Sony because they thought he was going to be shit. Mm-hmm. Chris told me that Blockbuster had the opportunity to buy Netflix.
The opportunity,
they didn't buy Netflix.
They couldn't get their heads out of their asses. That's a whole. We're gonna make that a whole different segment on that. Yeah, about the rise and fall of Blockbuster Video. So at one point, so huge, they even had their own awards show where A-listers would come in to get a Blockbuster award for doing their job. Crazy stuff.
Blockbuster had the nicest video rental stores around, man.
It used to be a thing to do. Just like how going to the movies on a Friday or Saturday night was a thing. Going to Blockbuster used to be a thing. We're gonna have to talk about that later. But yeah, Blockbuster. Sega had a chance to stay alive by joining forces. You would have had the Sega PlayStation. That's what it would have been cool. It would have been pretty cool. But it probably would have been the same exact console that we have now, the PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, and all that stuff. But you would have had a little Sega logo on it, and they would have had an official mascot and all that, like Mario, and then just kept going with the whole Sega team. But they said no, and it was a mistake. And then they came out with the Dreamcast, and it kept pushing forward. And they had a second opportunity. Microsoft wanted to get into the game and come up with something. Hey, let's get Sega's still out there. They're struggling a little bit now. They made some bad decisions.
Still there.
The company's still there technically. They're a little less expensive than they used to be, but we can afford to buy them. Let's just get into this game. We want to come up with a console. You had an opportunity to have this Sega Xbox. It would have. I mean, who knows what this thing would have looked like? And they said no. And now the Xbox is one of the two companies that they said no to are the number one and the number two console developers today.
It's the Sega is
number 3 now. Yeah.
Nintendo,
and if Nintendo doesn't, and the thing that almost killed Nintendo was when kids were into the bloody games. Nintendo didn't want to do blood in their games. It almost killed Nintendo.
If you wanted to get Mortal Kombat on Super Nintendo, it was no blood. It was like gray water looking crap. You couldn't.
In some situations it was no blood at all. Nothing would come out. It was, and then they put the gray blood in. It was.
I remember like gray liquid coming out now because my friend had it, and I was like, "Let's go play this on my Genesis. It's got the real fatalities in it." But the sound sounded terrible on the Genesis.
Marketing, it could have worked. It could have been a brilliant idea. Hey, you don't want to have you were worried about violence, and this was all around the same time. You remember, we talk about our possible future president, about the war on music, and it turned into the war on video games. Yeah, they were trying to corner that market, and to not expose kids to that much violence. And then those kids, they were like, hey, we're not 5. A lot of them we're not 5 anymore. These gamers are now like 20, 30 years old. So it backfired on them. And Nintendo almost suffered hard until they came out with the Wii. But Nintendo survived. PlayStation thrived. Xbox thrive. It's because of Xbox Live, and that was a couple of rhymes.
I was gonna say, dude, what are you rapping over there?
I got some skills, and now Sega, who was there from the '80s, they folded. They had to stop making consoles, and they decided to only become a game developing company, and license their games out to all the competitors who they had a chance to work with. They were never going to work with Nintendo, but they had a chance to get on the ground floor. Yeah, that was the fight, but they had a chance to get on the ground floor with Microsoft or Sony, and they blew it. Oh well. No, that's my. So what do you think about this whole thing? What if, Sean? What if Sega would have said yes to one of those companies? What do you think would have happened?
Oh man, I know that it would have changed things drastically. I think it would have. We obviously would have had a third player. I don't think it would have had anything to do with Microsoft. I think Microsoft, because Microsoft's an American company and Sega and Nintendo are not.
It seemed, yeah, you're right. I think it seemed like Sony and Sega merging would have made more sense.
They may have come up with something clever, but then again, I'm no PlayStation gamer.
Right.
But I would like to see Sega make consoles again. You know.
Well, you know what? There's the question right there. It probably would have had an effect on the fans. You're an Xbox guy like me. We don't really like PlayStation all that much anymore. But it would have been Sony. It would have been Sega's. You were a Sega guy, so it would have been Sega's PlayStation. That would have been the name of their console, the Sega PlayStation.
I mean, it sounds nice. The Sega PlayStation.
We might all be PlayStation guys right now. Microsoft might not have come out at all, because the controller kind of looks like the Xbox controller. Those Sega controllers, they're black, and it would have been a whole different game changer, man. I don't know. We all might be playing. We all might be Sony guys right now if that would have happened. We were like, "Fuck the Xbox." Who knows? Maybe not. That's that we can only speculate. What do you guys think? So, I guess we're gonna end it off on that. Again, I want to get comments from you guys so that you know what you think about all the topics we talked about, from the Fassbender Assassin's Creed to the box office results to the cancellation of the TV shows, Battlefield 1, and the what ifs with the dearly departed Sega Dream Team. And because we like to hear from all you guys. I appreciate all the comments and the likes and the dislikes.
Keep them coming.
And keep them coming, especially like their comments, because Sean is always trolling and ready to fire back with the response. So I appreciate all of that. Just keep hitting that like button, keep hitting that share button, keep hitting those comments, and help us get better each and every day. And let's keep talking. And then I'm going to pass it off and put it on Sean. Pressure for an epic ender to this show. Sean Malloy, take it away.
Like Chris says, keep following us. Watch, click, subscribe, leave us comments, give us suggestions, because sometimes we're too stupid to think of original stuff. So send it our way. Send all the hate stuff to Chris and all the good stuff to me.
Yep.
In the meantime, keep watching the movies, playing the games, and killing news.